A2Z Across LC with your hosts, Jeff Allsman and Cody Zippmann.
Hey, welcome to our inaugural podcast. It's A2Z Across LC. My name's Jeff Allsman. My sidekick is Cody Zippmann. He's here as well.
Sidekick, Cody Zippmann. Halsey, you got to enter us better than that. We got to keep the fans out there.
I think we need the applause button or something ready to go for you. I didn't know you were going to be quite so excited about
I have to be excited because we got to keep the fans in. It's about podcasting. It's a new era across LC, and that's how we got to bring it into this podcast.
Part of what we want our podcast to be is an opportunity to promote events on campus, let folks know about things that are going on, promote programs, the different athletic events as well, things like that. Some of the places where folks, part of the faculty or part of the staff or even the students are shining examples in the community and here on campus. So that's really what this is all about. And,
it is, and I got to give props to you on the first one. So I want everybody to know that I am constantly going on this campus, and without Halsey, this show could not happen. And today he has awesome guests lined up. We got lemons. Life gave you lemons, so we made lemonade, and the new digital streaming Mike Lemons is here, and his, I don't want to call him a sidekick, but his assistant, David Lenbedo.
I think he's more an assistant. I think he pushes a lot of buttons and puts a lot of cable down.
Yeah, and also from my department to the best people that I know, also very successful coaches, our men and women's soccer coach, our men and women's football coach, JB, Justin Bernay, and the Dunner, John Dunn today.
Both Regional 24 Coaches of the Year, by the way, for the season that just ended.
That is correct, and you put together a great show, man. But I know you want to talk about events.
Well, I just want to talk about a few so people know what's going on. This, of course, February, we got a continuation of our Black History celebration, so there are lots of things going on for the students to do. Lots of free food going to be given away at those celebrations through student activities. But we've got some neat folks coming on campus. I'm going to let you talk about the Mike Keith thing in just a second.
Mike Keith, I'm so excited!
That's going to be, you are, on February 8th. But I want to talk about February 22nd. We've got a presentation in the library by KSDK's Rennie Knott's going to be here. So that's something that it should be really interesting. It's not often you get these folks who have made a career in an industry that come in and share their time and their talents and their information, and Rennie's going to do that, so we're looking forward to that. But talk a little bit about the Mike Keith thing.
Hang on. I got to spin back around to the library because I got to tell you, if you haven't been over to the library since, last Christmas's waterfall that was in there, it's been revamped. That crew over there, Cash Money, Dennis Cree, Blizz, they redid everything over there with the maintenance team's help, and it is just outstanding to hang out. There's a mini mart over there, right? And it's more straight directed to interaction and a different look at the library. And now we had this great person that's in there for that event. So
looking forward to it.
Yes, and then Mike Keith. Let me tell you something. We got this whole promotion going around Mike Keith, and he's been kind enough to come back in.
He's February. A neat guy, too. He really is.
Yes. I've never met him, but I.
Oh, you haven't?
I'm just fired up to meet him.
You'll really be excited after you meet him.
And it's in my department area, so Riverbend Arena from 2 to 4:30. We're gonna have food. There's gonna be volleyball. There's gonna be basketball. We have this whole gaming area of ping pong, foosball, and air hockey. So I mean, it's just gonna be a great event celebrating Mike. And really, tell you the truth, let's put a name out, right? Student Appreciation Day. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
That is.
And it's gonna be amazing.
Of course, he's a former student and has gone on to do some really interesting and neat things. And you can there'll be lots of marketing tools that you can find out there that'll tell you all the different things that he's done. But he's just outstanding. He really is, and he's a go-getter. He's ambitious. He's exciting. Always upbeat. And if you come to that, you'll have a great time. There's no doubt. And if folks want to know about the different events going on across the campus, not just through the month of February, they can just go to lc.edu, scroll down to the bottom of the page, click on the calendar. It brings up our public calendar, and they can just scroll through it and find out all kinds of things that are happening here at the college. We just wanted to mention a couple of those as we look into the month of February that kind of highlight that list of celebrations that are going on for the entire month.
Yeah, and also I'm with you. I mean, that's gonna most likely viewers and streamers, I guess I would say, right? So that's what this show is going to be about. Just highlight some areas, tell you where to go to find out some information, because LC's alive, everybody, and we want you to experience it.
Why don't we take a quick break? We'll come back and we'll talk some Lewis and Clark soccer and visit with our Region 24 Coaches of the Year. How's that sound?
That sounds great. You know what I got to say, Jeff, though, right?
Go ahead.
We are
LC A to Z.
And welcome back to the A2Z Across LC podcast. I'm Jeff Allsman alongside Cody Zippmann. And Cody, we're going to talk some soccer now and look back at our 2023 Lewis and Clark season. Here we have a couple of guests we're going to bring into the studio, our men's soccer coach and our women's soccer coach, who both are coaches of the year for Region 24. So some great awards for them individually and for the program. So want to welcome in Justin Bernay and John Dunn. And guys, thanks for being with us. And congratulations on great seasons and as well the awards. Let's talk a little bit about the seasons first of all. And Justin, we'll start with you and tell us some of the key moments, some of the high points, things like that in this season where you were in the national rankings as well. Just kind of take us back and walk us down memory lane.
Okay. Appreciate you having me on. So it was my second season with the group this year. The first season was great, but definitely a learning process. Got my feet wet as far as not even just the competitiveness, of the region and our schedule, but the recruiting process and bringing players in that are going to fit into a system. So it was definitely a learning process, but a very enjoyable one, both seasons, but particularly the second season, because I felt like we knew the identity we wanted to play in, and got off, a little bit slow of a start. But as soon as we picked up steam, early September, I felt we really caught a groove. So, like I said, we start in August. So I would say that pivotal point in the team or in the season, is that what you're asking? Yeah.
Yeah. When did you know you had a pretty good team?
Yeah, so I felt even from, just training in preseason, we had a good team. The results might not have shown it the first couple weeks or the first couple games. We played a difficult opponent, Heartland, twice, kind of an awkward that we had to go up there and play them. And they were D2 national for NJC D2 national tournament, not finalists, but they made it to nationals. And so we had to play them within about a week span. Played really well, but came up a little bit short result-wise. And then I would say that the turning point was probably a little Labor Day weekend. On a Sunday, we played Columbus State, who were a difficult opponent. But we played and worked hard and had plenty of scoring chances, but it ended up in a 0-0 draw. But it was I felt really good about it. And after that, the girls started to buy in. We started to play well, and then the results followed. So after that, we started rattling off wins, especially in the region, and ended up scoring 23 goals in region play. Only allowed one. So we really picked up steam once we got through that 0-0 tie and got into region play. And again, really by the end of it, it was just not getting past Iowa Western on the two occasions. Although we played them really well the first time, but they won again. It was destiny for them. So we just couldn't be that little bit of speed bump for them.
So when you say that goal ratio, is that because of the greatness of the goaltender, or is that team defense? Is it all of the above? Or?
Only one goal allowed. Yeah, I would. Two things. One, I would attribute that to the way we play, which is more possession based, and we had the ball a lot, which meant other teams didn't get too many chances to score against us. But I will give credit to our goalkeepers. When called upon, they made the saves they needed to, and sometimes that's a difficult job of a goalkeeper, that maybe they're not getting many touches with their hands anyway. We use our goalkeepers' feet a lot. John does the same, but they might not have too many shots, too many saves to make, but then all of a sudden they're called upon to make a big one, and both Reagan and Kendall showed that throughout the season. So I would say that one goal is part how we play as a team when we have the ball, but also just their readiness to, when called upon, answer.
So, JB, I'm really interested because I'm a massive football fan, not soccer.
Football.
With the Premier League. And, it's unbelievable as far as the tactics and the skills. And I just want everybody to know what type of manager you are, or what type of tactics do you use. You play with the goaltender's feet and stuff. Does that mean you just play out of the back, or are you straightforward, or can you talk about a little bit?
You got the buzzwords down, out of the back.
Yeah. I watch. I try to my toffees over there.
He's done a little bit. He did a little bit of Googling before he came in. That's why.
Yeah. So.
Oh wait, one more.
Yeah.
If I would to say we are, you would say
LC.
Yes. Okay. You're
in a
past.
mic, so
You are past. Okay. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, so tactic-wise, I guess one of our team principles or initiative is that we want to be the team in possession and kind of dictating play whenever possible. We don't want to have to react to an opponent and just try to sit back and defend and then kind of just chase at them. We want to be the one imposing ourselves on them. So, yes, we do, play out of the back. I want our goalkeeper to be confident with the ball. I want our backs to be comfortable with the ball. And really we just... our goal is to try to move the ball as well as we can up to the midfield, and then be a little bit dangerous once we get into that attacking third, play little balls in behind, get to the end line, cutbacks. I think that suited the team that we had this past season. Without getting, too in depth, we play with three really classy midfielders that are good on the ball, backs that'll, support them and also help keep the ball. And then we're hoping to create enough chances to finish. To be honest, in the goals we scored, I know it sounded like we did score a lot. We always just wanted to challenge ourselves to be able to score in the big game, and we did a few times. But chance creation was first and foremost, and we created plenty of chances. Looking forward to next year where maybe we can capitalize and still score on more of those opportunities.
John, let's bring you into the conversation. Of course, you're the men's coach, and 10-3-4, I believe, is what the website said the official end of the season was, in a top 10 ranking at one point during the year. Kind of the same question. What are some of the bright spots in the season as you look back at it?
Yeah, I mean, we came in strong. We had a good preseason. Played a couple of good opponents. Could tell we were talented from day one. Not hiding that. We had a couple of big players. Which is shown, I'm sure we'll move on to it, but shown to where these guys are going and moving on to their careers, to really good programs and universities, which just shows that we had a real talented group from the off. We started kind of the opposite to Justin over there. We had a really good start. I mean, I know we kind of maybe flip-flopped a little bit there. I think we won 4 of our first 5, tied the other game, and it was a great start against some really good opponents. A couple of nationally ranked D2 teams, an NCAA opponent in there as well. So, we got off to a really nice start. As we progressed through, we had some big wins. Indian Hills comes to mind, a top 10 national win. Winning our region regular season, which was big to do that back-to-back years. Really, really pleased with that. And then we kind of ended the season with a game against Iowa Western, which I think shows the progression. Similar to Justin, second year, and we had 9 Division I coaches at our game against Iowa Western, which that's not the be-all and end-all. There's great programs at all divisions, as we know, but just that as a statement for the program, kind of talk about, we weren't getting that last year. Start of the season, we weren't getting that. So the progression of where we're going and where we've been has been fantastic with the group. So overall pleased with the season. I'm never going to be satisfied till we we win that last game. But it was a good year.
Talking about being noticed and recognition, both of you guys, Region 24 Coaches of the Year. What does that mean to you individually and also to the Lewis and Clark program?
I mean, obviously very proud, but I think for me, those awards are just a reflection of the team, a reflection of the group. That's a consequence of the group doing well, the group buying in, winning games. So to me, that's, as much as it has our names on it, to me, it's, an award for the team, right? It was the Region 24 regular season champions, the best team in the region through the entirety of regular season. I think that's what's represented with that award. I mean, of course, pleased to get it. Not going to turn my nose up at it. But, I know it's kind of an easy answer, but it really is the truth. I mean, without the guys working hard, winning games, putting the ball in the net, defending hard, all that good stuff, I mean, it doesn't come. So for me, it really is more of a team award. You can't have it without them. And also shout out to my assistant coach as well, Tim Findle, who's working incredibly hard on that. And I think it's a coaching staff award as well. So just to give him a shout out there.
Yep. Similar. I look at it as indicative of, players win games, coaches don't win games, as they say. We try to create an environment that they want to play in, they want to compete in, they want to work hard, and it's definitely not about me. I think it's really indicative of the returning players from the first year who felt we were better than maybe, especially in our region record indicated, and to turn that around from, I think we only won one region game, my first year, and then they came out and went undefeated the second year. I think it's indicative of those players knew what it felt like and knew the work needed to be put in, and they delivered. So.
And I know what it means to the AD at 20th ranked, then 16th, right, after the first year's in turnaround. And everybody there over at Erickson and Fiscal, put on your earmuffs. It means these guys are due for a raise. So as far as that side, T-Bird, we got some work to do.
I have a question that is going to be just a little bit off of the beaten path. Maybe not, but obviously soccer's been popular in the St. Louis area for a while. They have some great native-born talent but now with the St. Louis City SC coming into play and having the team here, how does that change soccer here in the St. Louis Metro East, both in the college level and just the overall popularity of soccer? And does that have any impact on either of you as a coach of a program?
I mean, definitely you see the excitement. You see so many jerseys, so many, those youth players walking around. And for me, it's exciting. To try and build off of that, to try and get more guys in our program. I think it can have an effect with more youth players wanting to continue to play into college, potentially go through the junior college route. So no, you definitely can feel and see the buzz and excitement in the community. Their games are sold out every week. You can't go anywhere without seeing some of their merchandise, which is awesome. So no, for me, I've really enjoyed it. I'm enjoying hopefully getting the guys involved, which they're excited about, potentially being volunteering there and work at some of the events, which is going to be awesome. But no, I hope that it leads to more youth players wanting to continue playing at college, which in turn will have a great knock-on effect for us recruiting.
Yep. I've been over at the games, everything. As John said, no one can, it's hard to describe that atmosphere until you've been over there. The stadium size, there's no bad seat in the house. The fans are into it. If you're near the Luligans, it's a really incredible atmosphere, and that's male or female. Obviously the buzz is there. So, from a woman's perspective, a younger female player seeing that, I think the buzz is still there. But I guess the hope is that maybe eventually we can get an NWSL team, which would be a women's professional team, to kind of complement that and kind of give, younger female players another vision of what could be, or just, want to continue on, as John said, to play college. And whether you're going to become that professional or not doesn't matter. You're seeing other other women, compete at the highest level. So in your own city, right, or in your own Metro East area. So it's been good. The buzz of soccer is there, but it's definitely it would. Hopefully, maybe that'll eventually lead to an NWSL team for the women's side.
And I think they have that on the books. And I will tell you this: we were just downtown working the St. Louis Blues game the other day, and the buildings are already been decored. In every window is a city banner, and there's no way that each resident just has that. I mean, every window down by the city as we were going through that downtown market is ready for February 20th and that opening. So.
Congratulations! I know one of you guys especially has to head out to training. I know you guys don't go to practice. You guys go to training. That's something else I learned here in the Googling. But thanks for being with us. Congratulations on a great season. Congratulations on your dual Coaches of the Year awards, and we look forward to seeing another great season coming up here in the summer.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys. When we come back, we're going to talk about not necessarily a new, but a changing program here at Lewis and Clark. So we'll be right back with more of the A to Z podcast across LC right after this.
We are
LC A to Z.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
And we're back. This is the A to Z Across LC podcast. I'm Jeff Allsman, right next door, Cody Zippmann, and we're going to spend a few moments now talking about a modified program here on the campus of Lewis and Clark Community College. It, at one time and for a long time, was radio broadcasting, but not anymore. It is now digital and streaming broadcast media, and we have the coordinator, Mike Lemons, who is with us, as well as the station engineer, David Olenbittle. He's also the AV editor. We're going to break those apart because those are two totally different things, and we'll let David explain that better. But Mike, talk a little bit about the shift, the need for the modification of the program, and kind of the idea or the vision behind it.
Well, the modification really is to match what's happening as a trend now. I mean, you have the advent of the internet from years ago and social media and people producing and distributing content online. And our traditional radio or the legacy media that we know as radio has really changed. All media is kind of melded to begin with. If you went to a television website or a radio station website, that's just it. They both have a website. They're not just radio or television anymore. Radio just doesn't have audio when you go to their social media pages. Everybody's creating content all together. So just to call it radio wasn't really a fit for what we've kind of transitioned to for a few years now. Doing things like podcasting like you're doing right now and offering that as a video product, but also as an audio product. So it's creating content, distributing that content across all forms of media, not just radio. So that's really the concept. The name didn't really match what we were doing anymore. Even though we have a radio station and we're going to continue to have a radio station, it won't be the sole focus anymore. But a lot of the things that we teach students about radio kind of applies to many forms of media.
So then did it also change some of the programs within the overall program, or some of the classes or courses or degrees or things like that?
Sure.
So it kind of revamped everything, I guess.
So like, for instance, we've had announcing courses all along. We still have those announcing courses, but they've been tweaked a little bit. But the addition of some other courses like a podcasting course and a video podcasting course. But even bigger than that, a audio or video production or audio production. We were doing those things already. Now you don't necessarily have to be seeking our 2-year degree to take advantage of any of that. We created 4 new certificates, 3 of which are just 2 courses long. One focuses on podcasting, 2 courses. It's a podcasting course and an audio production course. Video, the same way. It's a intro video, advanced video, audio production, intro audio, advanced audio, and then there's a 5-course video podcasting class, which also introduces some graphic design for, like, the image you see here with the A2Z background. So before, when students wanted to do an audio production class, they had to be in our program. Now you don't. The thinking is there could be students studying something else, but needing these skills because all businesses will be doing some type of content creation anyway. So why not get trained on that as you're becoming an electrician or becoming an auto mechanic or becoming, a dental hygienist?
So I feel like it was a shift to be on a young person's level, to meet them on different areas, or would you say that? Or go a little bit
our
more
program
depth?
is always kind of geared towards younger people anyway, but it's not anymore. I mean, there are people doing podcasts of all ages. I mean, the fact that us 4 guys are in here doing a podcast right now says it's really of all ages. So yes, it is to adapt more to what they know how to do already. But like now, podcasts, there are millions of podcasts out there. Problem is, there's a lot of really not good ones. So what we can teach in our program is not only how the technology works and the equipment works, but how to attract an audience, how to hold that audience, how to monetize that audience. So those are some of the things we teach, along with the great software programs we have and equipment that we have.
You're laughing over there.
Well,
really not good ones.
I'm trying to figure out where we fit in. I don't know if we know yet.
He's meeting us on the industry's level for everybody to come in.
I'll defer to him on where we fit in that that measurement.
Oh, I'll let you know.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
Yes, you will.
So real quickly, it also involved a change of location on campus. You left the Caldwell building and moved over to the science building. Tell us a little bit about why that happened. And I know, David, you were involved in the heavy lifting a lot of it when it came to that. Tell us the idea behind that.
So the idea on the move period was we needed a better location. The main building's undergoing some renovations, and they're upgrading it, which is great for the campus, but it's going to be not as busy as it has been over the course of the last couple of decades when the radio station had been right in the central location of that. So we moved over to the science building, mostly because the space fit really well. Plus, this gave us an opportunity to expand what we had already over in Caldwell, and we were able to add a couple of dedicated studios. And we have our own classroom now, which Mike can attest. We haven't had our own classroom ever in the history of the program, but now we have our own classroom that's also a podcast studio, also a recording studio. We could also go live on air in there too. And the setup for that, there's a lot of my blood, sweat, and tears in these walls and in the cabling. And this entire room here, I built about 90% of it. We had the person who was in here before us, I don't know what happened, but we had to air it out for a couple weeks after. This is Jeff's old office. So we kicked Jeff out and we turned it into a radio studio. I guess it's fitting that we turned your old office into a radio studio.
I feel right at home.
I bet you do. Yeah. No.
So you got nicer chairs than I had, though.
Yeah. I don't know. You're in Mike's old office now, so right? You're over in Caldwell.
Yeah,
Mike's old.
We just switched. Yes.
Yeah, we just kind of flip flopped.
But he
the
kept
radio
his
guys.
good chair.
I bet. Yeah. So as far as the build goes, we did that over this summer break, and not this summer. It was. Yeah, no, it was the most recent summer break. Yeah, summer 23, and it was months, and it was some slow process with some of the materials we needed, and then we would run into a couple of road bumps and hiccups and some equipment. I don't know what happened. Some of the equipment we brought over from the other side, and in that transfer, some of it broke, and we had to have it fixed, and then it was just all sort of okay. Now we're running. The stations working well. The studios are working well, and we're not on cruise control, but we're cruising. And so we're still making modifications. The classroom's having some upgrades that we're still working on. Some sound paneling, some wall design in here. So we're still building. But right now we are 100% functional in all of our studios and the classroom, and it's a great product still. And it's only going to get better. We just still have to, bleed a little bit more, sweat a little bit more, and build some more stuff.
To give you more about Dave, too, and the fact that he's doing the engineering stuff, we had an engineer of years who's retiring. So there was a chance for Dave to learn from a retiring engineer. But Dave's also been teaching audio and video editing courses for us for 5 years now, 4 or 5 years now. So a lot of the changes we're incorporating is really taking on more of his expertise. So the transition there and having him part as a full-timer now doing all these things was kind of a nice, unique little opportunity that we had to pull that off. So the opportunity is there. And let's take it. We got a big thanks to maintenance who helped us do all this stuff because it's, once again, it's still not done and we had heavy equipment. But yeah, the amount of wiring and things that needed to be done, kudos to Dave and our outgoing engineer on doing most of that.
I just have to go back to I'm concerned in the move. Things got broken.
It wasn't you guys. It was us.
You need to talk to the logistics guy. Who was the logistics guy at that time?
Actually, the one thing that's not working quite well, it fell off a cart that I was bringing over.
Okay. So it wasn't the logistics guy.
It's this computer that's running.
Or hopefully it's running.
Yeah. Hopefully we're recording it. No, but that's the gremlins in the thing. Sometimes when you turn the power off on a piece of equipment, you move it. Sometimes it can act up, and that's kind of the stuff that we ran into.
But the space couldn't fit us any better.
It's
really.
Great. I mean, it's perfect.
Very little construction that had to be done. None so far. I mean, we built a stage in the classroom, and there were some things in the hallway, and hopefully the hallway's not done. But it was just almost tailor made for us to come here.
Who built the stage in the classroom?
That was maintenance. That was
Quigley. Shout out to Quigs across the radio station.
He's done a great job. He hung all the pictures on the wall, and our hallway looks really, really nice.
I was going to bring that up.
Okay, good.
People need to walk over here and just look at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. It looks good.
The wall, and that is really impressive.
Yeah, my picture's not up there, but whatever.
Yeah, Jeff
well, that would change it.
Jeff says, I couldn't believe you had that many people. I said, we could do another row, no problem.
We have people we have to cycle through.
Yeah, I'd like to see it right now and people going across, but I don't have a window in this room.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
When's that window coming?
The window. We're talking about that very soon, I think. So ideally, once again, like Dave said, moving over here to be more visible.
Yeah.
A window out into the hallway was a part of that plan. Still, people don't know, even though the other side of the hall clearly states who we are, not being able to see in what we do, we're really not getting the attention still yet that we're longing. And hopefully there'll be a window in this space one day that you can see into the hallway.
Now, Cody and I jumped at the chance when you gave it to us to be an experiment. That's really how this has begun in the podcasting program. Do you hope other people on campus also take advantage of that? And do you kind of see that as happening? I know there are a few others, but do you hope that begins to grow also, among the folks who are on campus here?
Well, there's a lot of interest already, and we've already had students record several podcasts in our studios too. And the president, Dr. T, he's recorded some things, and that's all in the works still as well. But there's been a lot of interest. But you know how it is. Sometimes people say, "I want to do this," but then they see the mics, they see the cameras, and maybe they pump the brakes on it a little bit too. But no, I know we have not an open cattle call, casting call, but we want as many people to come and check out the space and get some time on the mic and record a podcast. And if you have something that you'd like to promote or talk about, or the campus or your program or whatever, this is the perfect setup for you to come and do it. We have lots of options to do it too.
Can you talk a little bit more about the students in recording podcasts? Because I'm walking through the gyms about 6 a.m. and out of nowhere, hey Zip, I heard about your podcast. Well, it was because that student was getting ready to do a project, recording a podcast, and I did not know that was going on. So
so that's a part of classes too. So we have podcasting courses. There's an intro and advanced, and some's just audio based, some are video based. So we have a student, probably a baseball student. If
is a baseball student, yep.
But that's another thing, talking about the visibility portion of it, right? He had no idea. A friend of his was going to take it with him. And after he saw the studio, he wanted to bring his friend over. He's like, man, if I'd have known, right? So even though they know it in enrollment, they know it among all the advisors, until you get in the space and see how cool it really is, you just don't know. But going back to, adding more podcast and students, we want students. Student driving content is key for us, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we can do this and make it popular, but students are going to watch students. So bringing them in to do more of the stuff is key, but we want to promote everything Lewis and Clark. Part of the plan in this whole move, it's a much bigger plan, not just to change our program, but to promote everything LC. There's a big marketing piece that's coming out shortly with an alumni that focuses on the entire campus, not just our program. We use one of our grads because they're a media personality and they can do it well. But it's much bigger than our program. It's for everyone, and the fact that we're doing Lewis and Clark A2Z podcast proves it.
Well, I was going to say that's kind of the same inertia that we have behind the idea to do this, is to promote the college, promote the campus, promote the events, promote athletics, promote the programs, promote community members who have a connection to the college. So that was really the emphasis behind Cody and I coming up with the idea to do the A2Z Across LC podcast. So I think our visions are kind of entwined, and this is our delivery method that you guys have created for us to be able to do that.
Yeah, we made you do video.
I'm not crazy about the cameras.
I don't know about you, but I'm fired up.
You could just put a black screen on me and I could just be audio, right?
I could blur your face out after all this if you wanted. Yeah.
See, somebody might be requesting that after all this.
Right, and what people can't see, we can do easy switch in towards you, and then it's just Cody, and then it's back to the 4 screen again, or it's bringing in the nice little, caricatures we have of you guys. So, and there's so many different things that we can do. Bring in media from outside. We can do all kinds of things that we love to teach and have people.
You bring that up. We're going to have to give a big shout out to Hannah, and you're going to have to, Mike, help me with her last name.
Hannah Herman.
Yes,
yeah.
She's done all of the graphic work for our program. She was involved, I think, in some of the voiceover work, and there was somebody else that was involved.
Well,
in
that was
also.
Caitlin Wilkerson did the voiceover, and you heard her in the intro, and you'll hear her in the closing. She sings a little bit. Yeah, so she was very eager to jump at the chance. And speaking of Hannah, all the Hall of Fame photos out in the hallway, she designed all of those as well too. Okay. So she's really got her thumbprint on the new location as well too.
But that's the big reason why, right? There's a graphic design course as a part of that 5-course video podcasting, so you can create different lower thirds and graphics to go along with what we're doing. So shout out to Hannah. Hannah's been great.
It was important to us to also incorporate some student activity in
absolutely.
this, and it's she's been great. She's done somebody needs to hire her quickly. Yes.
Yeah,
not away from you
job.
guys, I don't mean that, but she's fantastic.
That's the bittersweet thing about having students who are so good at what they do. It's so great to have them here helping us, but it really makes me and Mike both elated when they can't work for us anymore. Yeah. That's what we want. We really do. And it happens so much, like, oh, you're great. It stinks that we're losing you, but it's great that we're losing you. It's one of those bittersweet things. And it happens.
The people on that wall, right, that you've seen on the wall, our wall of fame, I would get a music director. We have a student come in, they do really great. You make them a music director, a production director. They do that for a year, and then they're gone, and you're training the next person. Yeah. And it's so bittersweet because I've got this great person, and then they go get a job, and we're like, well, that's why they were here. I wish I still had them.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what you guys do. Yeah. So just one last question for me. Where does podcasting go? Is this going to reach a point where everybody has a studio in their basement and they all hop online unregulated and say whatever they want and monetize it and shoot for the stars?
Yes. That's the answer. And you don't even need, you don't need the mics. People are doing it on their cell phone now. We were talking about how this program kind of has had a makeover. We've historically been radio and media. We're still media, but now media is different. Media is not just radio. It's not television, movies, TV, all that. Banks have media that they put out. Pizza shops record themselves making pizzas and put it on TikTok. That's what this is. That's content creation. Radio was sort of at the forefront of that 100 years ago, the beginning of content creation, the birth of podcasting. So it's just sort of putting, we're repainting the barn a little bit. It's still the barn. It's just a little bit different now, how you consume it. Everybody's going to be doing this at some point. And the people who don't, they're going to be involved in some capacity, I think. Either my family is part of one, my work is part of one. I have to be in this video for my job at the scooter store or whatever, because that stuff is happening. And so podcasting is just more of a formal discussion that's informal, and so everybody's really jumping on board, and it is super popular right now. You're right.
I feel like, with podcasting, you're never really out of time because there is no time limit, but I kind of feel like we are. For this show, our first one, at least.
You put 2 former radio guys who talk a lot on, so our answers are going to be lengthy. Probably could have used a break in the middle of this.
Yeah,
and in class, I probably said, hey, what's going on? There probably been a good chance for a break there. Yeah.
So we're coming back with I guess, unless we get canceled, coming back in 2 weeks with another one. We certainly want to thank you guys for being here. We want to thank Justin and John also for being with us. Before we go, tell the folks where they can find our podcast, because I guess there are different places that it might be located, and I'm not 100%. Cody, do you know? I'm not 100% sure where those are. Maybe we don't know yet.
We know they will be on the Lewis and Clark YouTube channel. So once they're there, there'll be some promotion. Once they start getting added and posted, there'll be promotion on where you can find those. And that promotion will happen through the school's social media and their website. But if you were to Google Lewis and Clark Community College on YouTube, you'll be able to find it there. And of course, we'll make smaller clips to promote that will air on our other forms of social media.
Cody, before we go, is there anything you'd like to say in a way of wrapping up?
No, not really. We are
LC A to Z.